Trump Speech by Emma Kold Øjlur. Sorry. So the first question is include thoughts on the communication situation in that video. Trump uses a lot of body language with his hands, expressing like doing big factor, showing that his emotions are big as well. He makes America seem a lot greater as a great nation, as is it's also one of their values, like that they're the greatest nation ever. He also kind of in a way blames Muslims for the world's problem. He blames them for the war in Ukraine and in Iraq. He's very nationalistic in his speech, like speaks a lot about the greater values of America and about the precise republic values. He talks to his voters' opinions, so the Republicans, as you may, have certain opinions and values, which he definitely speaks to throughout the speech. And then we have the second question asked is what are the main topic from the speech? The wall and immigration is certainly one of the biggest topics in this speech. He talks a lot about how they are building the wall, how they started, and why they're building the wall. He makes the Mexicans out to be rapists and insane, and that they take job opportunities away from American citizens. He also speaks about the two wars that were currently active as he spoke, which is Ukraine and Israel, but he doesn't spend that much time on it, so it's not necessarily the main topic, but it is a topic in those 9 minutes. He does also spend a lot of time on the rigged elections, as he claims that the last election was rigged by Biden, that meaning that he cheated. He also spent some time speaking about mental institution, but as the wars, he doesn't spend as much time on that as the three others. And then he also spends time mocking trans community, the LGBTQ in general, and for example comes up with the clever joke that he would recruit famous male basketball players, have them transition, and then be the greatest women's basketball team ever. Then we've been asked to pick 2 or 3 topics and analyze his rhetorical devices in more detail. So we've picked immigration, women's sports, and rigged election. So the immigration, he basically talks a lot about how the illegal immigrants are the reason that America is not doing as great, like that they're mentally insane, they rape women as previously mentioned, and that they basically steal labor away from the American citizens, making it harder for the American economy to be as great as they want it to be. He then, one of the other topics is makes fun of the women's sports. He uses humor to kind of speak to his voters, as a joke mentioned with the male basketball players, and basically makes it into a joke. And then he speaks about rigged elections, saying that the election was rigged, which is not proved that it was. It's just something he said. And then he starts blaming everyone else, especially the Democrats, on his loss during the election time a few years back. 3 years back, I think. Then the next question is use relevant analytic terms. And I know we haven't had time to dig deeper into this as you asked us to, but we'll quickly go through these 3. He uses ethos to make everything else and everybody else seem wrong, and then in that process making himself seem a lot more righteous, if you may. Then he also used logos, terrorism, Muslims, we all have heard it before, and that the immigrants aren't legal, which make them criminals in some way. And then he lastly used pathos to talk to his emotions, to his voters' emotions, like using humor, for example. Then we have included a few essential quotations. One of the things he says a lot is that the election was rigged. He keeps saying it, and making his voters kind of like making up for his loss, saying that someone cheated, that it wasn't his fault. So basically blaming everyone other than himself. And then I'll recruit LeBron James and have him transition again with the women's basketball team. And then which Republican values are expressed and how. He does really express the, if you may say, the racism that Republicans usually have. Also, Republic states are usually down in the deep south by Mexico. Which also means that there are a lot of illegal immigrants. I know illegal is spelled wrong. They want to build that wall, and they have built some of the wall. They want to keep the illegal immigrants out of America. And that is one of their like bigger values. And then they're against the LGBTQ community itself and making fun of them. It's one of the bigger values as well, that they don't really want a part of it. They're against it. They're against people transitioning, being provided with some form of aid to express their sexuality. They are very heterosexual minded. Yes.